Hello everybody, welcome back for some more Jak 3. I don't know why Jak was moving around. He's been doing that since like the ending of the last video. But here comes our first real platforming section. We finally made it to something, which is typically why I tend to do this one first. Two reasons why. Because, one, it's a platforming level. Two, we get a new power out of it. And three, I know I said there's two reasons, but... it's close to where we ended up actually finishing that one mission off of. It's already out in the desert. It's like, might as well do it and get over with. I can't, yeah, we can't. Oh my god, hold on. Sorry, but my, this is gonna sound really weird, TMI, but my butthole's like puckering up right now for some reason. It hurt. That hurt a little bit. I don't know what happened there, but okay. Like, actually. And then, unfortunately, right before I even started up this video, I ended up watching a video that was discussing negative shit, and it's like, of course. Yeah. I don't know if I really want to talk about it, because it would just make it worse. It's like, I hate watching videos like this. But I end up doing it because I'm curious. And I should know better. But I don't, apparently. Wait. Man, I was fucking wrong about what mission this was, wasn't I? Oh, fuck. Never mind the dark power, I don't think we get that. Well, this one's fine. It's okay, it's not too hard. We get to show off the blaster, so... I'm not going to talk about the blaster in detail just yet. I'll try to save that for later. I would love to talk about each gun in detail in one coherent video, but I can't really do that. Unless I just make a complete video talking about Jak 3 in general. Which wouldn't be impossible to do. But yeah, this mission's not that bad. It's kind of fun. Or this flying aspect of it's not too bad. I actually don't mind this. Granted, coming from the people who made Crash 3, you'd think they would know how to do, you know, fly through rings pretty well. Because arguably I think they did a pretty good job at even that back then. Yeah, every once in a while you can use a blaster to kind of shoot these yellow things to open up a hoop to go through. Also like being able to see the, you know, the ground down there and stuff, like the city, the desert itself. It's pretty cool. Oh man, that shit's really getting to my brain now. It's pissing me off. It's really pissing me off. Let's talk about something fun and cool, shall we? Well, again, I mean, the Jak 3 weapons, I could kind of talk about that, but I still want to kind of just save it for each weapon I get. So I want to be able to show off, you know, me doing a thing with said weapon rather than just talking about weapon. By the way, you can use a beam reflexor. It works about the same, but it's not really going to help you nearly as much. Or it's not really going to help you even more than it would if I use the regular blaster mod. As you can tell, I mean, right there, it just kind of bounced off, and... Well, that's what the beam reflexor is capable of doing. It is capable of bouncing off, which, once we get the chance to do it, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that Jak 2 and 3 incorporate, and why people tend to kind of see the beam reflexor as, like, the best weapon. And something I didn't talk about earlier, too, was that the wave concussor does eat up ammo a little bit, so... When you're using something like that, it will do that. And so does the beam reflexor. It will actually use more ammo when you use it, if it bounces off something. We'll get into detail and talk about that stuff later. Even though I keep talking about it right now, but I really want to. You damn well know I want to. You know I'm I'm foaming at the mouth. I guess we did do this mission. I forgot. Oh, shit. Okay. Well. Different part of what I thought it was going to be, but still a platforming level, I guess. Oh, yeah, it's this one. Alright, so, first of all, once again, like I talked about earlier, the scattergun being a really good gun against just small fry enemies. Wave concussor does eat up a little bit of ammo, like, I think 5 shots? Yeah, 5 shots worth of ammo, but it's not bad either. I don't know if it has a benefit of melee benefit or not. Maybe it charges faster if you punch somebody beforehand. I'm not 100% sure. And now for the blaster. So the blaster, again, it's just a longer range weapon. Basically, in this game, I guess you could say like a medium range, because it doesn't. You don't really need long range weapons in a game like this, but it does shoot at a pretty good and considerable range. And once again, I can't fucking show it off. By the time I get to, it's too late. Ah, yes, the fun volcano. But it has a really fun Daxter section. That's going to fall down, so be careful of that. But yeah, this is what the blaster normally does. It has a good lock-on to it, a good targeting system. I think every gun just kind of does anyway, but... Man, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, I kind of deserve that. So, the benefit of blaster, or the melee benefit, is this. You punch, and then it does a burst fire shot. Good against single enemies. Blaster itself is good against single target enemies. Bigger target enemies. The beam reflexor does all of that. It bounces on walls, and while it bounces, it should eat up ammo. That one didn't. I think it only eats up ammo when it hits somebody, but it will bounce around, and that's kind of the benefit of it. I guess just to show it now. But the reason why people tend to like the beam reflexor so much is what some people call a noob tactic, but I think, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. There are certain instances where it's probably better just to use something else, such as the punch burst fire mechanic, but the classic jump in the air and then spin and shoot. It does work great. It eats up ammo, though, as you can tell. Like, it eats up, like, goddamn 5, but that's okay. Yeah, I remember this time. And, of course. But the benefit of it is, I think it does do a burst fire. It looks like it does. I can't tell, but it almost looks like it doesn't, too. So maybe there is no melee benefit to it. Maybe it's just the first guns only have the melee benefit. Which would be kind of weird, though. I want to test that out and, you know, figure that stuff out when I get the chance. Yeah, I think this just goes back here, don't it? Yeah, these little fuckers. They're not metalheads, so... Yeah. The idea of metalheads is really cool, though. Not just for, like, an enemy type, but just in general. Like, you get to literally collect their skulls, and I think that's really neat. Gives you an extra collectible to have, and I guess an incentive to kill enemies. And the fact that if you happen to miss a metalhead, you can recollect its metalhead skull afterwards, which is really nice. Alright, platforming time. Oh boy. I could have sworn that these ones fall down, but I don't think they do. Something else that Jak 3 is pretty nice about is checkpoints, bizarrely enough. Jak 2 was pretty notorious for having really annoying checkpoints that really send you back. Yeah, these ones go down, I think. And yeah, you should be able to... No, you can't fire while you're on a leaper either. Well, shit. Yeah, I get it. You know, punching and kicking an enemy is usually probably... like a smaller fry enemy typically seems like the better choice. But you do have those guns just in case they happen to get to the point where they're really annoying about it. Like when they really group up on you and you gotta deal with all that crap. Alright. I like this part. We don't get to play Daxter nearly as often, but then again, I mean... Eventually, I mean, he gets his own game, so... I forget what button it was to let go. X. Okay. I didn't want to press anything because I thought... You know, I've played my Crash. Okay, oops. I played my fair share of Crash, so I kind of think to myself, like, if I hit circle or R1 or R2... Yeah, L1. L1 lets you cling to the surface. Okay, at least I don't die there. I'm pretty sure Dax has the ability to double jump. I think it's the classic Jak double jump. Like, it's kind of... You can mash it and be fine, but... And you can do the spin kick in air, which is really good. I think the reason what fucked me up here was probably the lava coming out. So I think I jumped and then got hit by that. Thank God Dax is good at actually fighting enemies, because... You'd think these guys would take like 3 to 4 hits to kill, but I guess not. Oh, I'm going right back to the rope, aren't I? Yeah. I'm sorry for fucking this up. Like, really badly. And this just once again goes to show how much of an asshole I am, because it's like, well, if I fuck it up, then who cares? But if I'm watching somebody else do it and they fuck it up, then wow. can't believe they would do that. If you haven't played Jak in a while, it does take you a bit of time to really get used to that. Also, it's kind of funny that... I mean, it makes sense that Dax can suck up Dark Eco. He gets no benefit from it, though, either. Which is something that Lost Frontier gives you. Oh, yeah, I'm being stupid. Yeah, it's kind of funny that Lost Frontier does do that, but... I don't know. I don't care enough. It's fine. It's not written by Naughty Dog, so whatever. Because the idea is that Dax is not supposed to be affected by Dark Eco, because he's really painted in it. Or something like that. So he should be okay when it comes to dealing with it. And then Lost Frontier makes it to where, like, oh yeah, he can just turn into Dark Dax. Because... why not? Gameplay stuff, you know how it goes. Also, I think you can turn this off now. Yeah, you can turn off Dark Jak now. I understand that the Reflector mod is the best weapon. However, I'm probably not going to try to use it too often, just because, again, I feel like for certain circumstances would be better, beneficial than something like just random small fry enemies right now. Not to mention, like, the blaster is good against small fry enemies. Like, any weapon really is. But... the fuck? I don't know. It's just really all, I guess, your choice. But I'm just trying to give off cool aspects of these guns. Because I really like talking about these guns. I think they're really a lot of fun. I think the concept of them is really fun. Which is another thing that's really cringe and annoying. Is I had a top 10 video, which you can still see on my YouTube channel, of top 10 useless things in video games. I think it's not privated. Maybe it is. But it was horrible. I qualified that the Jak 2 guns were part of that list. Once again, clearly, obviously, did not play Jak 2 much. Or really even have a fucking clue what the hell I was talking about, because I'm a goddamn idiot. That whole video was just mainly an idea to, like, get some type of, like, top 10 thing out there. Yeah, this is where blasts will come in handy, because that guy's at range. Enemies who are flying, when they get killed, their metal heads will just spawn right into, which is really nice. And really nifty. Also, I wish Daxter had more platforming sections. Because realistically, like, if you're a big Crash fan, these do give some sort of semblance to Crash. Not just because Dax is orange, but, you know. And like a weird little mammal creature, a marsupial. Oh, for fuck's sake. Also, I still find it funny that they have goggles. I mean, it makes sense in, like, 1 and 3, because in 1, you know, with the ranged things, like the ranged eco sections, you could argue that Jak is using them to kind of aim, I guess. But then, like, in 3, you know, they protect you from the sand and shit. It was just like back then, we had character designs that just had extra stuff on them, I feel, for the sake of just having extra shit. And honestly, for a game like Jak and Daxter, like, I'm perfectly fine with it. I think they look really good with it, especially Jak 3, because I think Jak looks really cool with his scarf and his desert attire. And the armor that you eventually get, because the more armor pieces you get, like I mentioned before, you do get more health. Yeah, this would be... yeah, I know. The scatter gun or wave concussor would be more probably useful there, but we all have to give in to our old habits sometimes, don't we? Eventually just doing the jump kick thing. Why would I get pushed off the platform for? That makes no damn sense. Does it have to show me that I can do it once? Something I don't really do very often. I do it mostly in Jak 1 is that. Ouch. I want to try to use these other weapons as much as I can to, like, give some sort of variety with things, but it's hard to do that when you have a gun that's blatantly the most destructive thing in the entire world. I mean, hell, even just like the regular blaster itself is really good. But yeah, this is usually what I typically would prefer using a scattergun for. Because I think it was these platforms I tend to have trouble with, not the ones I mentioned earlier. And don't jump, because I don't think Jack can do that. I don't think he can jump up. It's not Uncharted. Ah, I'm dead. Yeah. Kind of figured as much. Not anymore, I'm not. Alright, cool. Just gotta make this jump proper and I should be fine. Yeah, my depth perception is terrible, so... Don't mind me. Fucking that all up. Alright. Now for these ass wipes. Can you just stay in one place? Blaster would probably be pretty good there for them. Oh yeah, we don't have the hoverboard, do we? No. Pretty sure we get that later. Alright, I think that's it. Yeah, we just leave now. We're done with that level. So. And the only way out is to use this new power-up we got, which is turned invisible. And it will just completely annihilate the eye. Yes, the eye just disappears. But I don't think we're done with the temple just yet. Maybe. I don't think so. I assume so. You could probably most likely leave and go fuck off and do something else, but I think this is something we can do that's eventually going to have to be done. Which is, of course, all this fun stuff. There we go. Alright. Bugs. So these little nasty critters are really annoying and a pain in the ass. But, once again, you know, as you can tell, Wave Concussor is not bad against them, though. Or Scattergun, you know, whichever one you prefer. I don't recommend using Blaster on them, because I feel like that's kind of a waste of ammo. But then again, here I am wasting that, so... I don't know, you tell me. But you get plenty of it back, so it's okay. Alright. So the way this one works, I think you need to Dark Jack Bomb this? No, we gotta turn invisible. Because that's an insta-kill. And yeah, oh yeah, you can't go in the middle of this area. That's right. You have to stay on the outside. I remember having trouble with this last time I played Jak 3, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do I keep dying for? Only then to just remember, like, oh yeah, that's right. You can't do it that way. And then you... press button? Okay, yes. And in order to get out of this scenario, the game gave you a bunch of Dark Eco for this moment, so... Dark Bomb. Yeah, fuck, man. Jak 3 is just... It's so goddamn cool. It's so goddamn cool. And you know what? To be fair, the rule of cool can work for a lot of things. Which I was talking about that art guy last time. I guess he made a video talking about... well, Hazbin Hotel. I'm not a fan of that design choice at all. I think those characters are really ugly. But... according to one of the comments, somebody mentioned that the creator just basically made the characters based on her own rule of cool. Like, she didn't really care that there was a sort of repeated pattern between all the characters. Apparently, she didn't even notice that she gave the characters too many fucking bow ties all the time. So, like, I can understand that. And I can kind of respect that. Like, I get it. You have a design choice that you just like, and you kind of stick with it. But I'm sorry. I cannot stand that fucking show. I can't... the humor, all that, I can't do it. It's annoying. And I know I cuss a lot, but mine's more of like a sentence enhancer. I feel like for a show that deliberately just uses the F word consistently or just cusses all the time... really does not suit well with me. I think it's just really obnoxious and unfunny. Like, it just feels like a 15-year-old trying way too hard to be cool. I cuss because it became a bad habit. You cuss because you want to. Because you want to seem cool. We are not the same. Okay, that's done with. And we're going to have to go back eventually and do some Dark Jak stuff. You'll get to see that later. Get our Dark Jak shower, Dark Eco shower. And yeah. I keep talking about it, but like I miss this kind of era of gaming just a little bit. Which is funny because it took me a long time to really appreciate the PS2. Like I played PS2 games, of course, but when I say appreciate, I mean like really truly appreciate PS2 games. Like yeah, I thought God of War was really cool. I still think that the cinematics are really nice looking. There's a lot of things that I like about some PS2 games. I mean, obviously, I like my Ratchets, I like my Slides, my Jacks, and what have you, and my God of Wars. And I guess you could say Ninja Gaiden because it was like Xbox, which is close to PS2. And then Bikini Bottom, Battlefield Bikini Bottom, all that fun crap. GameCube alongside it, like Prime 1, Prime 2. Either way, Luigi's Mansion, yes. I just kind of always had this weird sort of thing with PS2 where it's like, yeah, but PS2 kind of ugly. PS2 kind of ugly. Like, yeah, they got games, I guess, but they're kind of ugly. And now that I've grown up, thank God, I've started to really truly appreciate the era of, because for me, PS2 was always like this weird sort of in between of like PS3 and then also PS1, which now that I've been thinking about it, honestly, I think the PS3 is starting to become like that for me, where it's like this sort of like middle child situation. It's like PS1 games, I fucking love those, and then like PS4 or PS3 at the time was like, yeah, like Uncharted, it's really fucking cool, Resistance is really fucking cool, Spec Ops: The Line's really fucking cool, Call of Duty's really cool, you can see the pattern there, I guess, but there was just a lot of really, I guess, what seemed like really cool shit that PS2 just wasn't able to do, with all these crazy graphics and these higher end of things that we can get away with. But then when you go back and play the PS2, you're like, oh shit. I've been hating on the PS2 for no reason. I wouldn't say I was hating on it. It was just more like like I said, I just didn't really appreciate it as much as I should have. I appreciated the GameCube. I loved the GameCube. I still do, but that's just more a case of Nintendo just having quality stuff more so than, well, it being a GameCube. But I always kind of viewed GameCube games in like a much better light than I did PS2 games. Because for me, like PS2 games were like, oh, it's just fucking the GTA. I don't really care for GTA. It's Tony Hawk. I don't play those very often. I don't really care for those. I don't mind the ATV. Well, I didn't hate Tony Hawk stuff. There was one we had that was pretty cool, but there's like this sort of not really shovelware. The Wii had a lot of shovelware, but I guess that's kind of part of it. Like, you look at a game like Scalar, like the cover of it, or even Tai, and Tak, they didn't look very interesting to me, and Vex. Although at least I've heard Scalar was pretty good, though. I don't know. I never played it. But those look like really off-brand, great value games, like platformers and shit. But then you had games like this, the obvious Jacks, and your God of War, especially. God of War was like a big one for me. And like I said, now I can view these in a much better light and look at it in a better way as a whole. And like I said, the PS3 is now like the middle child. Now it's like PS2 and PS1 games look really cool, and PS4 and 5 look better than PS3. Which, speaking of which, now the PS4 is also in that same sort of... I get that same vibe from the PS4 as I do with the PS3. It's like, why would I want to fucking play a PS4? And I only ever really want to play PS3 because there's a specific game on 3 that I can only play on 3. Or even, God forbid, like 360. Weirdly enough, I grew up, defending the PS3 as much as I possibly could. Only then to kind of slightly backpedal a little bit when I eventually got a 360 later on in life and came around to like, 360's got some good shit. I'm gonna do a 360 and walk away. Like Halo and Gears are pretty good, so but that's really all I realistically play on that, I guess. I haven't really gone through Blue Dragon yet. I have it, but I haven't really gone through it. I'm trying to think of anything else. It's mainly just Halo and Gears. I mean, they got Blinks. That's a neat game. That's more Xbox than it is 360. No new guns, huh? Cheap ass. I know he's got something waiting for me. Did I ever end up getting these? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I got the ones around Deimos, but I don't know about these ones. Which, come to think of it, probably did. I don't see why I wouldn't. Alright. I know there's more over there, but who cares? It's fine. Hate how no matter what water it is, even if it's like knee deep, it doesn't matter. Or if it's like ankle deep, it doesn't matter. Is that desert or Coliseum? I think Coliseum's the punch. The fist, right? That would make sense. I think this is back to the desert again. Ugh. I know, like I said, I don't mind the desert, but it does get kind of old having to go back and forth between doing that. Yep. That was a problem that some people had with Jak 2, was the mission structure of you go do a mission, hop on your bike or on your vehicle, as they say, and go drive for like 2 minutes to the next mission, then finish next mission, then do it again. Oh, God, no. Is this the picking up people one? Ugh. This is why I don't like the desert stuff, because like it's mainly the desert missions more so than just traveling the desert. Like, I can deal with that, it's just doing a mission here sucks sometimes. But that all really kind of boils down to what mission you're doing in particular. What else can I talk about today? I don't know. We're gonna have a possibly cool day today. That's in the cards right now. Might play some Mario Party. Or something along those lines. Maybe some more Wii Sports again. Might even do some Jak 1. Who knows? Might find a Let's Play that we want to really do. Who knows? Or just play fighting games. Because like today, I wanted today to be like a game night thing. Where we just kind of hang out and find something to play and just go at it, I guess. But the sad part is, here I am just playing Jak. Before that even happened, so kind of ruining it for myself, I guess. Yeah, don't worry about the sand vehicle here. That it's not going to get too far from you. You'll be alright. You'll make it. It always reminds me of that one thing from Star Wars with the Jawas. That thing that they ride around in. From Episode 4. Which is also a desert vehicle. Maybe that could be the case. Maybe that's a reference to it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, most of these characters are not too far out, but there's going to be one guy that's going to be so fucking far out, it's like, dude, really? Of course, they give you plenty of time to get to it, but... like, goddamn. I think there's even a defend mission here, too. Where we have to defend somebody from getting attacked. Get to finally use our gun. Oh, don't worry, guys. There will be a time period where you get to use your guns. They will give you that opportunity, I promise. It's just, you know, world building and story building stuff is what's happening right now, to be fair. So I kind of let it slide. Jak knows when it should do something for or when it, you know, I feel like for these games, like Jak 2 and 3 specifically, I feel like they did a really good job at pacing somewhat. Yeah, I keep bitching about the desert being kind of annoying, but arguably, I do kind of think that it's relatively fine enough as is. For what it's worth. When you're playing the game and you're paying attention to the story, it does make a lot of sense. And it's also a new set piece, too, so, you know, enjoy it while you can, I guess. It's neat to see something like that. Especially for the Jak universe. Hope I can make this. That would suck if I fucking can't. There's a mission right there. Yeah. You gotta be careful with your bounces, because you might end up screwing yourself over. Which they can too, because they're dumb, but... Alright, we're getting close to... It's getting close to nighttime. I think we're probably... Got one more guy left to go. It's like, yep, 5 fucking minutes away. Technically 2 minutes, because I think they give you 2 minutes to get to his ass, and then 2 minutes to get back out of his ass. Although, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to have a little surprise when we get there. So I don't think any of this shit matters. Alley-oop. Oh. I was going to say, that's going to do a lot of damage if I don't land that. Well, did a hefty amount. Come on, baby, come on. Come on, DJ, come on, come on. I tried playing the GameCube version of that with my brother, my mom, and my sister. But my brother and I have played WarioWare before. But they have not. So trying to get people who are casually, like, who are more interested in, like, Mario Party and stuff like that, it's a lot harder to get them into WarioWare because they just don't understand it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to them, which I don't blame them for that. I think this thing still does the whole burst shot. But this boss is kind of fun, admittedly. Not super hard, though, and if you do get hit, it's fine. Well, except, you know, he has to reset every time, which is annoying. Ah, you fucker! Maybe you take a little bit of damage, you can just heal it. Not a big deal, but watch out for your time, though. Let me turn the fucking air back on. It's getting hot in here. God damn. Yeah, most people will just typically do the jump in air, you know, spin kick thing, because it does work. Especially since, like, your reflector can bounce off him, of all things. Which I find kind of funny. Oh, that was close. Bro should be getting close to being dead by now, I hope. And not to mention, Reflector works great here too, because at least you get more than one shot on him. So, that helps out a ton. And there you go. Basically done. I don't think that hurts you at all. I don't think so. I forgot that we still have 2 minutes to get back. But 2 minutes to get back to the... If you want to call it Coliseum, but the village, basically. Wherever the city. God. I'm really not good at words, I guess. The cool thing about the city, though, is you can kind of see where it's at all times. Have a little fire showing you where it's at, which is really neat. You don't necessarily need boosts to get there. I wouldn't mind having a few, so I can get the fuck out of this. This little mess I've made. There we go. Okay. We're back on track now. Ah, you son of a bitch. I was hoping I can kill him. Got fairly unlucky. This is why boost jumping is really nice, because it just keeps you from falling all over the place. But then you'll land on something really fucking hard and be like, ah, well, there goes half my health, I guess. So, it's a risk-reward system. And that's kind of the cool part about Jak I was mentioning earlier, is these games relatively are kind of like that in a way. They have a risk-reward type stuff that you can mess with. There's a lot of really cool tech, too. Not just in terms of game dev tech, but just, like, different sort of Jak tech, so to speak. You know, the melee stuff. And oh my god! I'm fucking toast. I think when you die, I believe the checkpoint is most likely after the boss, so if I do end up dying, I should get my health fully recovered. I would assume. I don't know why I wouldn't. I'm like on an inch of health here. If I just dodge all these cool shots like a badass, I should be able to make it. Yep. What a way to... Whoa, shit. That was cool. Like a glove. Okay, I will admit, I'm surprised. That was actually kind of sick. Okay. Back on the trail, I guess. Back on the old dusty trail. Now into the arena. I was mentioning this before. I think I was mentioning it only in the co-op video, but I really wish that this game had optional Coliseum stuff. Like, you can get precursor orbs from fighting in the Coliseum for, like, certain arena things and what have you. I know that's really Ratchet core. That might be why they didn't do it. I mean, they still have an arena. They still have a goddamn Coliseum arena thing anyway. But it's very likely... Nah, who am I kidding? No, it's not. What the fuck am I lying about? I wouldn't be surprised, I should say. Not that it's likely. I wouldn't be surprised. That has bullet holes in it. See that? Damn, somebody got fucking drive-by'd. Or leaper-by'd, whatever, I guess, in this case. Or just straight up just shut up. Or somebody missed. Who knows? Who knows in a town like this? This place is dangerous. Should I go buy an upgrade right now? I don't know. Does it feel like it's the right time to buy an upgrade? Because we haven't really got to use our gun very often. Wait, this is not a... Oh, this is his icon, not a... Oh, never mind. Well, this is a pretty fun mission. Arguably, so... I'm alright with this. It can be kind of fun, but yeah. Okay, so Jack can sort of jump climb, but not really. Not as much as, you know, Nathan Drake can do, I guess. But I like this one. Basically, whenever you... there's a mini-map on the bottom where that red dot's at. If you're quick on the trigger, you'll get more points depending on how fast you are at shooting. Yes, 7,000 is a lot of points. It really goddamn is. However, it will go by faster as it goes through, and it's going to get to a point where you're like, oh my god, slow the hell down. So right now, just enjoy it. Plus, there's also, you know, going to be things that are going to give you way more points. Like red, blue, and then green. As you can see there. I like this. I like this minigame. I think it's kind of fun. I'm pretty sure that later on we fight big monsters with it too, because I think they're trying to test your capabilities of shooting. And yeah, if you're kind of used to like Space Invader type shit, you can almost sort of guess the pattern of where things are going to be at. Kind of. And the good thing is, if you wait too long, you don't lose out on too much points, which is nice. But you still get a nice, hefty amount of good out of it, so... I wonder if they ever did make a Jak 4, are they going to have missions like this? Are they going to make Jak 4 structured kind of like Jak 3, or is it going to be a more modern approach? And can we have upgraded weapons? Even though we have that here too, actually. We do have upgradable weapons here. I'm a huge sucker for upgradable stuff. You can kind of almost blame Bioshock for that. And I guess Ratchet as well. Mainly Bioshock, being able to upgrade weapons and things was always like a really cool thing for me. And Infamous. Actually, God of War, I think, would probably be the one I would blame my upgrade-tisms on. Trying to get slightly hungry again. Might be time to leave. I'll grab something real quick. I have food here, but I want a drink. That's not a fucking Gatorade Zero. Alright, done. Easy. Alright, what's up next? Another light eco crystal, which I think gives us power? I forget. I don't know. I forget who this was for, but we'll find out, I guess, won't we? Maybe more Coliseum shit? I don't know. There's a mission up here, I think. I don't know, like, it's weird. It's hiding, like, right in the middle of this. I don't know where it's at. I don't know if it's... I think it's on the other side. Who am I kidding? I should know better. It's clearly on the other side. We can try to do a couple of missions real quick just to get some more orbs if I end up actually finishing the damn things, because sometimes they can be kind of tough. And hey, I get to spend Metalhead things, so why not, right? Also, good thing you don't have to jump on the leaper for that. Alright, that one's not too hard to spot, and that's also really good, I would argue, good game design too, because it makes you go out of your way. You know what, I'll go find the building first before I do this mission. Just in case. I think it's over here. One sec. Yeah, I'll go find the building first. Because, like, what it does is it sort of, like, gets you to go out of your way to go find things that you wouldn't probably normally, I guess. Like, you would most likely go out of your way to go find them eventually, but sometimes I feel like maybe you won't unless you get forced into looking for something like that. But it shouldn't have been too far from here. It should just be this building, I thought. Like, right in the... Like, it should be down there, not where I'm up at, specifically. Okay, I was gonna say, how the fuck do we get that? But, okay, cool. Let me think. I don't know. I seem to be having trouble. I thought it'd be, like, right there, but... No, it's not. So is it this one up here, then? Or is it on a completely different side? It's probably on the other side, too. Wouldn't be surprised. Or it might be this one, I don't know. Please. Yes, it is. Sweet. Yeah, like I said, this definitely gets you to kind of go out of your... A little bit out of your comfort zone and go look for thing. And then you're like, oh, cool. There's a ladder there. I never... I guess another thing, too, is like you see that there's a ladder there and you're like, ooh, I should go look for that. Because I want to climb that now. And then you find it and you're like, oh, sick. Now there's something extra I can go do real quick for fun. I can go get more collectibles for fun. And that's what I think about Jak level design is pretty damn cool. Have I said enough times that I fucking love these games? I fucking love... Oh, by the... Okay, you can't. I was gonna say, I think you could stand on those and get away with that. But I don't think you can. Alright, just in case. I'm gonna grab another guy. He'll be fine on his own. He doesn't really need me. And then we'll go ahead and get this side mission done and go upgrade our guns. Because, you know, why not? Oh, it's a race. A very tight race, by the way. 3 seconds per, it seems. By the way, you don't get more time whenever you hit these. It's more like a specific allotted amount of time during that from each point to the other one. So that's how that works. Look at that, see? Going around the city helps me look at things that I wouldn't have seen before. And now I want that damn orb. So guess what I'm going to do? I'll go out of my way to get that damn orb. I guess pro strat for this is just stick to the higher ground here. So you can slightly edge onto the rings without having to jump up. See, this is exactly why it's better that I usually be the one to do Jak 3 bullshit. When I say Jak 3 bullshit, I'm talking about, like, things like this. Platforming and shooting and stuff, you know, if my brother wants to do that, that's fine. But I think for things like, you know, racing and what have you, and side mission crap, probably should be left up to me to do if we're going to do a co-op Let's Play and handle it that way. No offense to him, just saying, like, I've done this shit so much to the point where it's been ingrained in my brain that I kind of have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. Alright, well, I guess we'll just end the video there. Real quick, let's go ahead and get these upgrades. Let's get Blaster Damage upgrade. And then Scattergun Rate of Fire upgrade, too, while we're at it. We got plenty of these things. We can always go buy shit if we wanted to. Cleaver's Diaper. It's a classic. Bad Weather, I think, just makes everything just suck. Doesn't really affect much. But anyway, yeah, we got 2 new weapon upgrades. Awesome. And then, yeah, next time we continue, we'll do all, whatever this guy's mission was. I forget who. Definitely not Cleaver, though. Could be Deimos. I don't remember. Anyway, that's it for this. So, as always, take care, everybody.